this season, we get to watch the drivers of the Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series as they do battle once more. This time it's in Homestead. It's the HighPoint.com season finale. And who else to watch but the driver of the 97 machine in Scott Wheeler, who has an 18-point lead in the championship standings over Kendall Kerr coming into the final race of this season. And how about the season we've had so far? A lot of ups and a lot of downs for every one of our championship contenders, but it all comes down to this, a race that could be decided by a matter of 10 or so positions. Let's get into the mathematical about this event because there's a lot to determine as the race goes on. Bonus points will play hugely into the equation, and we are going to see who's able to rack up the most bonus points. As a matter of fact, that's the name of the game here. And a driver like Scott Wheeler knows just that. He's got 20 bonus points on the season. And his total right now, 450. 18 points behind him, the driver of the number 21 machine. It's the Lucas Oil machinery with Kendall Kerr at the wheel. And right now, Kendall Kerr is 10th in practice. Still a lot of time to get quicker. The Blacktop Racing boys looking for that manufacturer's championship. For blazing fast Chevy Camaros week after week. The combination of Kendall Kerr, James McKee, Alan Goodman, and Brad Kress every week bringing the best of the best. And they are at the top of the standings, 2 places in the manufacturers and the drivers. Our final championship contender is not on the racing surface just yet, but it's James McKee, who at the moment is 20th of 21 drivers on the timing and scoring charts. And it looks like McKee not on the track, not improving just yet. 29 laps of practice. We'll see whether or not the number 9 machine comes alive in the race as Adam Bossi on pit road leads the drivers in timing and scoring with a 32.861, a dead heat. With Scott Wheeler, unbelievably, it's not a difference of less than a 1/10 of a 1,000th of a second. They're absolutely dead even. No deficit between the top 2 drivers. It just comes down to who said it first. And Adam Bossi did just that. Unbelievable by both drivers. It is a dead heat with no gap to one another. And I don't think I've ever seen that on the surface before. But this is the most important race in a lot of positions. Here will be determined. And tonight decides a lot for every one of these drivers. Who's going to come home as the drivers' champion? 3 drivers looking forward to getting that crown. And 1 has the upper hand in Scott Wheeler. But if you look through the points, it's 7 points, a bonus for winning. So say a driver like Kendall Kerr wins, and if he comes home there, that's 7 points chopped off of the lead that Scott Wheeler has. Say he leads a lap, that's an extra point. Say he leads the most laps, that's another extra point. And say he wins the pole position, he could come home with a total of 10 bonus points. And if Scott Wheeler doesn't come home with any at the very, very most, it's going to be a 10-point gap. And less than that, it all the way goes down to an 8-point deficit if they finish first and second. Scott Wheeler needs to finish inside the top 10 to clinch the championship no matter what. As a matter of fact, he needs to finish 8th or better, and he will have the tiebreaker tonight. The full season championship format is bringing us an exciting finish no matter what. Kendall Kerr needs to bring his A game. If he wants to lock this one up, it is still possible for the driver of the 21 machinist. It's going to be Scott Zellner now, right behind Scott Wheeler. Kendall Kerr, though, has a lot of ground to make up. He's making more and more of it time after time. James McKee made a big gain last week in Iowa, although he lost 1 position in the standings. Scott Wheeler, his championship lead, they've been chipping away at it race after race. At about halfway through the season, looked like it was done and done, almost a 50-point lead for Wheeler. But these two, Kendall Kerr, James McKee, they've been able to run up the running orders week after week and take home the winning positions that would have gone to Scott Wheeler earlier on. And it looks like 3 drivers are just about even race after race. 11 races have been completed, and 2 minutes and 25 seconds remain on the final practice session. 12 of 12 in the 14th season of the Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series. And thus far, Scott Wheeler is still looking for just a bit more speed. Adam Bossi coming out on the racetrack as well. The 97 is in. And it looks like the 27 is out on the track. Tyler Rush on the track as well. And with the number 72 machine on the racing surface, we're actually going to go and try to get an interview with him. We were never able to get one from Atlanta. And now we're going to try to make up for that since we have a little bit of time to fill. How about we talk to our first interviewee of the night? And it will be who else but the driver of the 72 machine in Tyler Rush. Give us just a moment as we set that up. We are ready to get to work here as Rush is going to back it down to the inside line there. The 72 machine going to park it and put it into pit road as we are getting into the voice chat right now with the driver of your 72 machine and the Turtle Shells Motorsport machinery of Tyler Rush. Now, the race here has not been determined, but we were not able to get this interview earlier. Third position at Atlanta, and we were hoping to get the interview sometime, and it looks like the time is now. Tyler Rush, how are you feeling?
We're surviving. We got a little bit of this winter weather coming through right now. And I'm sorry I missed Iowa. The work schedule's been hectic recently, getting ready for the Rolex 24, but I'm back here tonight for the season finale.
And absolutely back here for the season finale, and you left off on a high note, not making it to Iowa, but at the end of the day, you came home in a very nice position at Atlanta. How was it running that event and eventually coming home with the podium?
It was crazy. Definitely wish the car had a little more speed at the end of the race. We had a lot of trouble getting to the high side. I feel like I could get the car rolling, but it was so loose off of 2 and 4, it was hard to really commit to the high lane and push somebody. So I feel like we just got to the dance a little late and didn't have a partner, or anybody else really wanted to dance at that point, and wherever you were already at was where you were probably going to finish.
Certainly, and at the end of the day, able to finish up front. Now, Homestead, a totally different animal here, and everyone bringing their A-game, the championship decider. We have 3 drivers mathematically eligible still in a lot of positions up for grabs in the point standings. What's your game plan here as we enter qualifying just now?
Well, I'm going to try to just put down a decent lap, get a decent starting position. I'm going to try to stay out of most of the championship battle since I'm only running a part-time season. I don't want to ruin somebody else's championship. So I just got to be very mindful. There's other racers around here that I respect, and I don't want to ruin their day. But at the end of the day, I plan on just trying to come home with a solid top 10. This is a track that I like, and hopefully I can put on a good show for everybody.
And absolutely hoping to put on a good show. Final question before we get to the qualifying procedure here. How are you feeling about going into next season? And will we see you more often on the track?
Well, you will see me as many times as my schedule will allot. I'm here for the next couple weeks, but then I'll be shipping off to Daytona for the Rolex 24 to work on that famed number 10 Konica Minolta Acura. And then I've got a couple weeks back, but then it's Sebring right back at us again. So every chance I get, I'll be here.
How about that? Tyler Rush, 3rd position at Atlanta, and a lot of plans going into next season. Glad to have you. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, guys.
There we have it, Tyler Rush. Now let's get into qualifying here uninterrupted. And the first driver we're focusing on is not Rush in the 72. It's Adam Bozzi in the 27. Let's go. It's qualifying and the timing laps are underway. And it is the number 27 leading us through. Got a lot of guys already showing their support for their favorite drivers, favorite teams. Brad Kress, driver of the number 29 machine, saying, let's go Blacktop. Lighthouse Visual saying, Winstead. Got the win in quotations there for Chad, the number 10 driver, and let's go Morrissey. MDLXL coming back once again, and Caleb Morrissey looking to end this season off on a positive note. Let's see what the number 6 machine has in store as Scott Wheeler down the back straightaway. First of 2 timed laps. 3 minutes and 35 seconds remain here in qualifying. Let's see who's going to be able to get onto that front row and get the bonus point for pole position. Scott Wheeler looking to pack this championship up just a bit early. We'll see whether or not he's capable of doing just that. And it looks like right now, Terry Brooks on pole, provisional pole for the 23 machine, looking for win number 1 this season. And Brooks having a great second half, currently 13th in the championship standings, but in a very, very close battle to get into the top 10 in points, and that would be great for the driver of that 23. Colton Gardner on his way. Roberto Ramirez going to put it in position number 9, and now it looks to be top of the charts. Adam Bozzi once again. Terry Brooks usurps him. Will Scott Wheeler do the job once more? And Scott Wheeler will not make it to first. He's going to be in second, the best he can do. Caleb Morrissey up to fourth. Done and done run. Kendall Kerr onto a second lap. This could be the bonus point he needs to wrap up that championship for the 97, but he missed it. Now he's going to be a point that the number 21 machine needs to keep the championship battle alive. Scott Zellner to the pole position. His run is done, and the number 2 machine's going to back it down, but it all comes down to the driver of the 21 machine. Final lap for Kendall Kerr. He's going to be coming across the stripe this time by, and for the number 21 machine, it looks to be fifth. Not going to get the bonus point. Looks like the championship front runners are not able to get into pole position, not even for a split second. And this could change everything. Chad Winstead up to fourth, done and done. Kendall Kerr backing it down. Robert Ramirez besting into his seventh. And Chad Winstead still on the chat. And Brad Kress, gotta thank you for the message there. Thank you for the support as well. As a driver, it means the world to see every one of these guys watching after the race or sometimes during the race if they can't make it. It means the world to have the support here, and we hope to be back as well. A great series being put on here. James McKee, how we go back to the driver of the 9 machine. First lap is concluded. Not the case. Only his out lap is concluded. He's on to his first lap here in the SB Designs number 9 machine, and this lap could be crucial. 23 one-thousandths of a second separate the top 2 drivers in qualifying here. Scott Zellner, Terry Brooks, Scott Wheeler in third, 39 thousandths back in dead heat with Chad Winstead. No deficit led by both of those drivers. Dylan Petit on his way as the sun shines in Miami. Second lap for the driver of that 31 machine. Jason McKee comes down to the stripe. First lap for McKee, and that's going to put him in 11th. Dylan Petit on his way in the Violent Defense number 31 machine. And shades of Brad Keselowski or Chris Buescher here for Petit as Matthew Rodriguez. First lap is going to put it in 10th. And it looks like a lot of guys here are bordering on having their laps invalidated, not due to an incident, but due to timing constraints in qualifying. And we haven't seen this many guys coming at the border of the time since, I would have to say, around Charlotte or North Wilkesboro. How about that? Matthew Rodriguez on his way. He's going to maybe make it down to the stripe here with 20 seconds to go. James McKee is going to be at a dead heat with Rodriguez. For now, Rodriguez has the edge by 1,000th of a second, and it looks like that's all she wrote. Rodriguez 10th, McKee 11th, and he's already parked to Jason Harris. Coming off the high side, got a lot of very, very positive momentum coming into tonight's race, and he's barely going to make it across the stripe. Number 7 is not going to get a better lap that time by qualifying is over. Now, let's get on to the race here in Homestead Miami Speedway, home of the final race in the Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series season. As we go over the infield lake, not quite Lake Lloyd, but Miami, Florida bordered by the ocean, and quite a scenic sight here. And it's going to be a great race, a great night of action to finish off an exciting 12-race season. And a lot of these guys already looking forward to getting back out front. Some of these guys not getting the qualifying runs they were hoping for. Shelly Babinchak saying Zellner number 1, and that is indeed the case. Bonus point, the crucial bonus point for all these guys running in the championship hunt. Well, it does not go to the boys up front in the championship hunt. It goes to the all-time winningest driver in this league, Scott Zellner. And we see the number 2 machine is back out front. Let's go through your starting grid here in Homestead. Led off by Scott Zellner with a 32.860, and Terry Brooks right behind him with a 32.884. Next up, it's going to be Scott Wheeler in third, Chad Winstead in fourth. Wheeler leads your championship drivers when it comes to the grid position here. It's a 32.889, now at 899 for the driver of Wheeler and Winstead as well. Round out your top 5, it's Adam Bozzi, then Kendall Kerr in 6th. It's going to be 3 places separating 2 of your championship drivers, and Scott Wheeler looking for that victory. Scott Wheeler, of course, for the championship and this race. Robert Ramirez is going to be in 7th, and Dylan Petit in 8th. Now running with your top 10, Caleb Morrissey in the 9th position, and Matthew Rodriguez in 10th. Going through the remainder of the field, James McKee, your final championship hunter, 21 points back, and he's still got a lot of room to get through. Corey Blevins in 12th. Jeff Morash 13th, Jacob Hall position number 14, Kenny Brooks in 15th, Austin Bloom in 16th, Jason Harrison 17th, Colt Gardner 18th, Tyler Rush in 19th, and Garrett Sidnor and Andrew Baker round out your field. They're going to be running shotgun tonight as the entire field is going to roll off one last time, and we couldn't be any more excited. The final drivers looking to get back onto the racetrack once more. And this is the final race of the season. Unbelievable to say it. We began here in late September in Fontana. What an exciting race that was. Well, it set the pace for a chaotic, albeit very, very intense season with hard competition and an incredible group of drivers we love following week after week. And it's been a privilege to work with every one of these guys throughout the season, 12 races. And we truly hope to see you back next season. It's only going to get better from here. These guys having their first season in the Next Gens, a new car to accommodate all these experienced drivers, and their experience has paid off, and they put on a great show time after time. The final time, however, we'll see that iRacing pace car lead us to the green flag for the first time in a race, and it's going to be led off now by Scott Zellner and Terry Brooks. We are green in the HighPoint.com season finale. Let's go racing one last time. Straight away, Scott Zellner's hardly got the advantage, but Scott Wheeler there as well. The top three drivers separated by about half of a second. And it looks like now it's going to be Zellner getting a major advantage. Terry Brooks to the inside line, and Scott Wheeler there as well. Debbie Winstead saying go Winstead. Got a lot of Chad Winstead fans out here tonight. Final race for Winstead to make up any more championship spots. He's fourth in the championship standings at the 9-point advantage over Alan Kunman, and he's only 29 points back on James McKee. Tonight could be the night to get some more done for the driver of the 10 machine. What a second half he's had as well. A lot of these guys able to turn it up in those final 6 races. And Winstead, an example of just that. Scott Wheeler, he's had it on every race no matter what. And now he's looking to pick off 2 drivers to get one final victory. And let's go indeed, Lighthouse Visuals. This is going to be a night you won't want to forget. And it's going to be the night that determines everything here in the 14th season of the HighPoint Premier Series. Roberto Ramirez in 6th, and the majority of the field is single file. Looking behind James McKee and Caleb Morrissey. Got a little bit of double file action as the sun is setting behind the palm trees that surround the racing surface. Kenny Brooks going to have Matthew Rodriguez go up to the high side there. Dylan Petit in the front of him. And Roberto Ramirez looks to be leading a second pack here. Top 5 drivers able to get away. Single file, majority of the field here, 120 laps to 7. And it looks like right now, smooth sailing for the man out front. And Scott Zellner, Terry Brooks right behind him, however. And Scott Wheeler there as well. Let's watch your championship battle. James McKee gets a better start than Kendall Kerr. And now, it looks like Kerr is in the 12th spot. How about that? Kendall Kerr losing positions. It's now going to be a 3-wide deal. Although it looks like Jeff Morash going to have to slow down just a bit. Austin Bloom gets up to the high side. And we got a lot of guys running that high line because it looks to be the fastest out here in Homestead. Drivers like Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick doing this. We're working the high line in real life, but it looks like Matthew Rodriguez using that to his advantage right now. And he's got an awful lot of momentum. He's going to come up on James McKee. And now going to come up on Caleb Morrissey as well. And Morrissey is looking to get this one done. It has been a tumultuous season for him. He's got 1 podium on the year, and that's his best finish. But overall, it's been a little bit more of a down year, but he has turned it up in the last 5 races. Second half, a little bit of a troublesome period as well, but his best race, he ranked in the very start of it all the way down. The last position has made his way back up into the podium at the Magic Mile in New Hampshire. And Morrissey looking to finish this one off strong, side by side with championship contender James McKee, as they're going to head into the 3rd turn, 6 laps in out of 120. Rodriguez there as well. The driver of the number 57 machine watches as Kendall Kerr and Austin Bloom side by side, double file right behind him. Kerr trying to get out in front of that number 3 Oreo machine. Oh, it looks like now Austin Bloom giving no mercy. He's going to go up to the high side quite nicely, and he's going to be able to make it work with Kendall Kerr. And Kerr's line going to be taken just a bit. And certainly that's some momentum he's going to want to have as the race goes on. Caleb Morrissey up to 9th position right now. Matthew Rodriguez gets to his inside line. Scott Wheeler still looking to get to the inside line on Terry Brooks. Going to be a challenge, though, as Brooks still has a decent about a tenth of a second advantage over the driver of the 23 machine. 8 laps in out of 120, and the track is going to get grippier. As the sun sets in the nighttime sky comes out, the track will get much cooler, although the drivers are certainly heating it up with their tires. And as a result, it will be somewhat of a pendulum here. It's going to swing back and forth as the tire runs go on and on. And as a result, a driver like Scott Wheeler going to see that the grip increases, he'll be able to push the car just a bit more. And how about we ride on board your current championship points leader in a comfortable spot to get the victory here in the title hunt. On-board Wheeler, very, very gentle movements there on the steering wheel. And it's evident he knows what he's doing. 5th gear, gets it all the way up to 9,000 revs a minute. And he's just keeping it on a very, very close watch here. Go down to James McKee. And Roberto Ramirez right in front of him. Similar procedure. Although he's got a lot more pressure now as he looks to have Dylan Petit coming right up to him. Although he's going to lay back for now. And the 9 machine, not as much pressure as he would have. If it was any other race, I'd say we might just see a different story. Although it is the championship decider, Dylan Petit going to lay back just a bit. Terry Brooks still in 2nd. Scott Zellner is your race leader. And Scott Wheeler leads the championship hunt. 10 laps in out of 120, still a ways to go here. As Dylan Petit gets by James McKee. And Roberto Ramirez is right in front of him. Looks like Petit going to pull James McKee right through for that position number 7. And he's going to be able to get it. Dylan Petit has that momentum. He's got the high side rolling quite nicely here. And how about that? The number 31 machine putting on a great show. Jason McKee up there. Chad Winstead is as well. And now it looks to be Chad Winstead going right by Scott Wheeler. The pressure being put on now. Adam Bosio right there as well. We might just see a 2-for-1 placed on your championship points leader. Although it looks like, for now, Scott Wheeler able to hold on. Chad Winstead putting on the pressure. Adam Bossie now going up to the high side all the way. Who's going to be the first to dare to dance with the grid straight? We're going to find out. You see all the way at the high side of the turn. Looks like a driver like Kendall Kerr might just be the man to do it. And Kendall Kerr in the middle of the back side by side with championship contender James McKee. And don't forget, these two are fighting for the 2nd position in the Drivers' Championship as well. They're separated by 3 points. Kendall Kerr simply has to stay ahead of James McKee to make it happen in his championship hunt as Kerr goes down to the inside line, and the 21 machine going to be able to pass the 3 for position number 7. Austin Boone gets into the wall just a bit as Kendall Kerr's teammate James McKee goes 3 wide with Caleb Morrissey. And this is the biggest bunch of cars we've seen all race long. Watching a wide shot, it looks to be 2, 4, 6, 8, a total of 10 drivers in the mix here. 4 rows of 2 wide action and 10 drivers in total as Kenny Brooks and Austin Bloom hardly out of the double file ordeal here. And Caleb Morrissey putting the pressure here on Roberto Ramirez. Homestead looking to be quite nice for him. Sparks are flying right in front, but he won't mind him, Caleb Morrissey won't. He's going to keep on riding that high line quite nicely. And he's going to be able to make up just another position on the sea of positions he's already gotten back thus far. Great job for the channel lock number 6 machine. We'll see how far he can climb as the race goes on. Chad Winstead in 3rd. As it looks like a side-by-side battle for 4th with Adam Bossie and Dylan Petit. Bossie, at the moment, is tied for the 6th position in the championship standings. Chad Winstead in 4th. And it's a very close call for Adam Bossie. He's only 20 points behind Chad Winstead for 4th in the standings, although he's in 6th. And that means a lot when it comes down to the final race. Every single advantage you can get. And a driver like Adam Bossie surely knows this. He's looking for every single advantage, every single method to the madness here as he's side by side as the sky turns orange in Homestead. Dylan Petit there as well. Scott Wheeler, 3rd position. And it looks like a lot of guys blinking out here. iRacing might be having a server issue. As you can see, it looks like the tire is skidding there for Scott Zellner. and Zellner has led every lap so far, and it looks like he's on fire, literally. How will we go on board with Terry Brooks to watch that effect from the onboard shot? Mesmerizing shot here, and I don't think I've seen anything like it. Terry Brooks in the 23 machine, following a very, very impressive show. A show of smarts by leader Scott Zellner, and certainly we weren't meant to see that, but how about that final race? We're seeing the fireworks just a bit too early. And Elaine Coombs coming into the chat saying, go get the win, number 11 machine in Scott. And I don't believe we have a number 11. However, two Scotts, and they're both doing very well here. Scott Wheeler and Scott Zellner. Watch out for both of them, as it looks like we have a smoke show in second and third positions here. And not sure what's going on, as a lot of guys are giving us a smoke show. And we have not seen this all season long, but it's unbelievable nonetheless. And it looks like we've got a little bit of trouble here. How about that? Not sure what's going on. Internet issues might be coming into play. And we are not sure why. Our apologies in the case that this is not being broadcasted at the moment. However, on our end, we're still going, and Scott Zellner's still leading. A shower of sparks by a lot of drivers, and we are still having quite a few issues here. And it looks to be sorting itself out. Fiber optic internet coming to our area, and that might be the reason we're having a slight outage tonight. And we are going to get back to focusing on the action, as it looks like everything's cleared itself up. Scott Wheeler and Terry Brooks chasing Scott Zellner down the back straightaway, and Wheeler's still putting on a smoke show. Caleb Morrissey on his way as well. And it looks like side by side with Kendall Kerr, and Morrissey's going to be able to get by. Great job there for the 6th machine, and Brad Kress saying we're still live, and that's a good thing, because it looks like on our end we're having just a bit of trouble. And once again, fiber optic internet being installed, and it looks like roads are down in our area due to it. It was a little bit of a trouble getting home here tonight. Nonetheless, we are here watching some of the best on iRacing go at it. And the driver of the number 2 machine looks to be the best of the best tonight. And it's Scott Zellner leading Terry Brooks, Scott Wheeler, and Chad Winstead, with Adam Bozzi going down to the inside line trying to get 4th. Although for now, he rounds out your top 5. Dylan Petit is going to be in a world of his own. And Austin Bloom has some pressure now from Caleb Morrissey. Watch out as Kendall Kerr's in the mix as well. A lot of smoke shows. We have not seen that all season long. It looks like the rear diffusers of these cars are certainly touching up on something. Because you can see now, back and forth these guys go. It looks like an iRacing problem, and that we were not aware of. But how about that? We don't see that often unless it's an internet issues. Thank you, the Michelle's 89. Just something we're not used to here. As Caleb Morrissey goes to the high side, James McKee goes down to the bottom. And we'll see, keep watching the races. iRacing having a bit of an issue. And we have not seen anything like that all season long. Terry Brooks still 2nd position. Scott Zellner in a world of his own. 22 laps in out of 120. Clean and green. This race seems to be. And Chad Winstead's going to wiggle off the high side there. And Caleb Morrissey going to go side by side with Austin Bloom. And Caleb Morrissey putting the Jets on here. He's in 8th position. Roberto Ramirez is in 7th. And Ramirez, let's talk about his season. We've talked about a lot of guys so far. Ramirez has had 2 wins this season. One in dominating fashion at Sonoma, and another coming home in style at Iowa. He has been on a roll the past few races in Iowa, showing there's no stopping to the 42 machine. Although the ball didn't get rolling early enough for him to be in the championship mix, look out for this man in season 15. He's certainly one to watch as the season goes on. Next time by, and certainly one to watch now. Although he goes down to the inside line here, looks to have lost just a bit of momentum. Don't see a lot of guys go that far down unless something happens off a corner exit. Jason McKee going to be able to make it past Caleb Morrissey. And it looks like that's going to put McKee up into 8th. Kendall Kerr down to 11th. And both of these drivers fall from the position they need to be in order to get that championship W. So they are not in the position they'd hope to be in order to get the victory here tonight in Miami in the championship, let alone the race. Scott Zellner still leads Terry Brooks in 2nd. Scott Wheeler in 3rd, and Adam Bozzi in 4th. Chad Winstead 5th, Dylan Petit is in 6th, and Roberto Ramirez is in 7th, with James McKee in 8th, and Caleb Morrissey in 9th. And Kendall Kerr is rounding at your top 10 now as it looks like he gets by Matthew Rodriguez, Austin Bloom, Tyler Rush, and Jeff Morash in a 4-car gaggle here. And the 57 machine right in front of Austin Bloom. Looks like a block being placed 25 laps in out of 120. And this race has been smooth sailing thus far. Everyone playing it nice and smooth. Top 6 drivers in the back straight one another. Then the second pack comes riding in, led by Roberto Ramirez and now Dylan Petit, getting chased by the driver of the 42 machine. And these two running much different lines from one another. You can see Dylan Petit all the way up to the high side. However, Roberto Ramirez goes down to that inside line, tries to make something happen there. Goes up to the high side once again. And down the back straightaway, it's undeniable. You want to be up on the higher lanes, but you can play around just a bit on the turns. And you can see Dylan Petit trying to use the momentum coming off of exit. Although the momentum coming off the entry is certainly superior now for Roberto Ramirez. He will be able to get by Dylan Petit at this rate. If he's able to make it happen this time by, wouldn't be a shocker. He goes down, and it looks like now the 42 machine is clear on the 31. The outside line not prevailing thus far for the 31 machine. And at this rate, he's sure to drop down a few positions as he gets into the wall just a bit. And the Violet defense number 31 not able to defend that position. James McKee, the next man up to face the driver of the 31 machine. And Scott looking for win number 11. And that is what we're hoping to see out of the Scott Zellner camp. My apologies there. And he is looking to get it done. He has crossed the double-digit barrier. And number 11, it looks to be in sight tonight. And Zellner, he was very, very good at Iowa. Had contact with a lapped car during green flag pit cycles. And that set him off course. Was bound for that victory, but it didn't go his way. He had some contact under green flag pit cycle. And Elaine Coons, you're right. Win number 11 seems to be in his path if he's able to hold on tonight. We'll see whether or not he's capable of doing just that. Scott Wheeler into the middle groove here. Adam Bozzi putting a little bit of pressure, but right now, no pressure in that championship run. If he stays here, he's clinched the championship regardless of where anyone else in the championship battle finishes. Scott Zellner still leading the way here. Let's go through the middle of the pack once again. Seeing a lot of guys fighting with one another here. And try and get us back online. Looks like we have a serious issue when it comes to the outage at it. Looks to be reporting our area. We're trying to get backup signal up immediately. Our apologies. Although it looks like we are back up once again, and it looks like we're going to have to work on a few things to keep us up tonight. And we are not sure why this is happening. Our apologies. Something happened with the internet as we speak. And certainly not what we would want to see, but we are going to be sending it to backup signal right now. We are not getting a lot of feedback out of our internet provider as of recent. Well, the backup signal is in effect to keep us rolling no matter what. It's a matter of however we can keep it up at this point. As James McKee still is in 7th. Scott Zellner still your race leader here. As we are 31 laps in and having a little bit of trouble holding on to our connection tonight. Not sure what's going on here. Although the 2 machine still on the track for us. Terry Brooks in 2nd, Scott Wheeler in 3rd, and Adam Bozzi in 4th. Let's go throughout the remainder of the field. The Violet Defense number 31 machine in 8th. Kayla Morrissey in his own world right now. Tyler Rush in 10th, side by side with Jeff Morash. And it looks like not even able to send it the backup signal right now. We have to work with what we have no matter what. And it looks like that's going to make it just a bit harder as Tyler Rush goes down to the outside of the line. And how about that? Jeff Morash on the inside. Still fighting here. And we still roll live here. What a show put on by all these drivers. And if you're still with us, we are working this out. I sincerely apologize. However, here we are back running underway. Race is far from over, and I sincerely apologize once again. This is an unforeseen circumstance. We're going to try to keep this up no matter what. Going down. it looks like we've come to the conclusion. We know what is going on, and we will be able to continue broadcasting as it stands. Terry Brooks is your race leader according to timing and scoring, and we are still going here. Thank you for sticking with us. We are still live, and we are still watching the action here in Homestead, albeit it's just been in a little bit of an interrupted pace. We are still going here. Thank every single one of you for stopping by as we are getting back into the racing action. Had to reset our connection to the session, and unfortunate that this is happening, but we will be back with the action as soon as we are able to present it. You are still watching live on FTN, and it is still a race dominated by the guys up front, clean and green. No caution has been thrown just yet. Internet outage in the local area. As a matter of fact, putting in fiber optic lines and taking down the lines of internet that we have already had for decades upon decades, and ancient infrastructure seems to be replaced. And as a result, this race having a little bit of an interruption, but we are still rolling here. Our apologies once again. The HighPoint.com season finale. It looks like our cable company does not seem to want to play ball with us, and they've been doing this all season long. It always happens later at night. 10:15 on the Eastern Coast, and that might just be the reason here, folks. And got to thank every single one of you for staying with us, and had to get on the backup account, not able to text through the main one for some odd reason. And nonetheless, we are still rolling, and we've got to thank every single one of you who's still with us. 17 viewers still holding on, and we're holding on as well. This race has been nothing short of incredible. And we are looking forward to every moment that will continue. The broadcasting action, unfortunately, backup signal. We might have to compromise on some of this. Interviews are absolutely disabled until the conclusion of this race. No other choice to keep our internet usage as low as it possibly can be. That's the way it goes here. We're still rolling. Got to thank every single one of you for stopping by. This intermission will not stop us. We're just going to keep moving past it. And HighPoint season finale here, the HighPoint.com season finale, brought to you by the wonderful folks at SP Designs, who are on James McKee's car, but also the wonderful folks at Stadium Scene TV for helping us out and promoting our content. A great group of guys who work there. And it looks like cars are going to come back onto your screen any moment now. Everyone coming back onto your screen as we speak. And it looks like we're good to go once again. And here we go. Apologies, looks like nobody there for just a moment, but now we should have it. Oh, there we go again. Adam Bozzi's your race leader, and a few things have changed. Now let's go over the stuff that has changed, because I was keeping track of that over the break. It looks like Scott Zellner is in the 7th position right now. As a matter of fact, in the 6th position, had a few hiccups on his run thus far, and that sent him from the first spot all the way down into the 6th. As Adam Bozzi is a race leader, Tyler Rush in 2nd, Kendall Kerr in 3rd. 49 laps of running thus far. No caution just yet, and it's led by the driver of the 27 machine. Now Kendall Kerr in prime position to perhaps take the victory, steal the victory as a matter of fact, and maybe get it done for himself in that championship race. A lot of time to do so, and we'll see whether or not the driver of that number 27 is able to get it done tonight. Adam Bozzi looking strong thus far. He might just have what it takes to get the victory here in Homestead, Miami. 27 machine of Adam Bozzi, 72 Tyler Rush, Kendall Kerr there as well. And it looks like Tyler Rush almost contemplated going down to pit row there for just a moment. That is not what he did. As a matter of fact, he keeps it on the racing surface, and a lot of these guys are spread out now. Lap times are as slow as they've been all race long. Last time by for your race leader was a 35.791. Tyler Rush's lap was a 35.6, and Kendall Kerr's was a 35.454. These guys are getting just a bit slower as the night goes on, but they are still pushing as hard as ever. 50 laps in out of 120 in total. And we are going to try to raise the quality of the broadcast just a bit. It looks like we have the leeway to do just that. We're going to bring it back to the standard that we're presenting beforehand and try to keep it at that rate for the remainder of this race. Going to be a bit of a risk, but it looks like we'll be able to take it. Going to bring it up back to that standard. Here we go. The video quality will continue to improve as the night goes on. Back in action. We thank every single one of you viewers for making this possible. We still roll, and Adam Bozzi rolling in the lead as he is very close to that outside line here. You can see he's flirting with the grip strip just a bit And the driver of the 27 machine looks to be the first to do just that. Tyler Rush, second position. Kendall Kerr in third. Garrett Sidnor is in fifth at the moment. Jason Harris is in sixth. Scott Zeller now. Timing scoring are messing up just a bit. Zeller now looks to be in position number 3 as Tyler Rush is in second. Adam Bozzi, first position though by a long shot here, as we do not have a majority of these guys on the lead lapper when it comes to the bottom half of this grid. Andrew Baker, 1 lap down. Kenny Brooks, Jacob Hahn, Matthew Rodriguez, Colton Gardner, Jeff Morash, and Corey Blevins, your only retiree of this race. It looks like Blevins not able to take the grid tonight. As Austin Bloom now in the 14th spot. James McKee, your final, the 3 championship hunters, is in 13th. And looks like his paint scheme going to reload just a bit. The SB Designs number 9 machine still on its way. Kayla Morrissey in 12th. Dylan Petit in 11th. And Chad Winstead, number 10 machine, is in 10th. He's got a long way to go to get back out up front. Looks like now Scott Zellner going to be moving right by Tyler Rush, and the man in the 2 machine is in a rush. Zellner back up into second. And it looks like he is on a roll. New tires, it looks like, although timing and scoring is not reflecting that, his last lap was 2 seconds faster than race leader Adam Bozzi. At that pace, he's bound to get the lead back no matter what. 3 seconds away, and you can see he's closing in, pouncing on your leader. 54 laps out of 120, and it's a long way to go here in Miami. But Zellner might just have the pace to pick this victory off and get win number 11 in style here in Homestead. He's been the dominant car all run long. Let's see whether or not he's able to finish that off. Kendall Kerr, 5th position right now. Gonna get right by Terry Brooks, but now Brooks gonna be able to get him back. Scott Wheeler's in 7th. Now up to 6th position. Gets right by Garrett Sidnor. This is gonna be good for Wheeler's chances in the championship hunt. And he gets out front in front of Kendall Kerr. It's basically over from there on out. He's just got to stay in front of the 21 machine and stay in front of the 9. That is the name of the game for the driver of Scott Wheeler. Adam Bozzi gonna go diving right in front of Scott Zellner, and Bozzi goes down to pit road. Scott Zellner is still your race leader. Back out front, the driver of the number 2 machine is. Got Wheeler up to 4th. He's gotten past Kendall Kerr. That's going to put it back in the championship clinching position no matter what. Tyler Rush is in 2nd. Terry Brooks in 3rd. And Brooks looks to be making up a lot of time on Tyler Rush here. Almost contact. Almost a spin there. But Brooks going to be able to get right by him. And Roberto Ramirez is going to do the same to Kendall Kerr. And Garrett Sidnor is in 8th, getting past there by Chad Winstead. Those new tires look to be the most advantageous pieces to the puzzle here. At 57 laps in at 120, the man in that number 10 machine looks to be about as fast as Scott Wheeler, or about as fast as the race leader in Scott Zellner. The Scots are dominating this one, and Terry Brooks looks to be the next man to get chased down by one of them. Although now, it looks like Scott Wheeler only 4/10 of a second faster than the driver of the 23 machine. Going to be a lot harder to chase him down than it was to chase down Tyler Rush, Roberto Ramirez, Chad Winstead, or Kendall Kerr. Dylan Petit in 8th, Garrett Sidnor in 9th, and Kendall Kerr now getting pressured by the 31 machine. Looks like this time by, the outside line is going to work for the 31, and he'll be able to get right by Kendall Kerr with ease. Great job there. Violent defense on the offense. And the 31 heads up to 7th. Taylor Morrissey in 10th. Jason Harris in 11th. Jason Harris now looks like he scored in 12th as James McKee gets right by him. Austin Bloom, the number 3 machine in 13th. Andrew Baker in 14th. Matthew Rodriguez now in 16th. The last driver in the lead lap as Jacob Hahn is now going to go right by for just a moment. Colton Gardner, as Colton Gardner looks to be able to get him back. This is the battle for the first driver one lap down that lucky dog spot. Looks to be what they're chasing here. Kendall Kerr, 8th position right now, 59 out of 120. The cross flag's going to be coming out soon. Scott Zellner coming out of turn 4, and now we're going to be able to get to 60 laps to go at the conclusion of this lap. We're just about halfway through, and we have had no yellow flag thus far. And halfway through the final race of the season already. Can you believe it? The championship is going to be decided by the outcome of this race. But one man has been dominant all night long, looking for win number 2 on the season. It's the driver of the number 2, and it is Scott Zellner with Terry Brooks right behind him. Scott Wheeler in 3rd, Bernard in 4th, Chad Winstead is in 5th, Dylan Petit in 6th, Tyler Rush in 7th, Caleb Morrissey in 8th, and the cross flags are being waved. Now we have 60 laps to go, and it is the final half of the season in its final race. And it's time for Scott Zellner to put it on the full power, as he's going to have to deal with a few lap cars, first of which is going to be Kenny Brooks down to the inside, Andrew Baker there in front of him. And it looks like the 2 machine out of his own world has a 6-second lead on Terry Brooks, dealing with lap cars as well. Jacob Harmer right there. Scott Wheeler in 3rd, Roberto Ramirez in 4th, and Chad Winstead in 5th. Dylan Petit in 6th, and Caleb Morrissey in 7th. Jason McKee in 8th, Garrett Sidler in 9th, and Austin Bloom is in 10th. And it looks like at the moment, Kendall Kerr falling down the running order here. The driver of that number 21 machine, not having the best night in championship offense here. He's 1 lap down to 19th, and that might be all she wrote for the championship hunt of Kendall Kerr. 59 laps to go. The only man who can chase him down, Scott Wheeler, will be James McKee. Now, Scott Zellner to be exact, is stuck with some lap cars here, as Scott Wheeler slowly but surely using them as pickoffs to get right up to Terry Brooks. 23 machine getting chased down by that 97, but at this point the championship looks to be in the favor of Scott Wheeler. However, it ain't over till it's over, and you never know how a race can turn out until you see the very end of it. It is not time to say that Scott Wheeler's a champion just yet, but if he holds on 58 laps in this position, he will come out on top. And whether or not he does that, it's a matter of time and a matter of circumstance. Things can still go wrong for any driver in this race. Although 57 to go, nothing has gone substantially wrong for any one of these guys. James McKee, the driver on the lead lap, fighting with Scott Wheeler for the championship thus far. The SP Designs number 9 machine goes up to the higher groove there, not the highest, right there in the middle. And he uses that groove perfectly. And the number 9 machine only seeing his teammate in that rear view mirror. And he is short for teammates tonight. Brad Kress, you see him in the chat room tonight, not racing. Alan Koonman not there as well. A lot of series regulars not making it tonight. And at that point, it is the game of course, December 22nd. We've only got a few days till Christmas. The holiday season is in full swing. And it might just be an early Christmas gift to get that championship as Kendall Kerr goes down to the inside on his teammate there. And James McKee gonna have to let him go. Let's go watch on board with James McKee again. As you can see, Kendall Kerr looks to have some rocket ship under him now. His best lap is much closer to his last lap than the majority of these drivers. As a matter of fact, they are exactly the same. Kendall Kerr's last lap was his best. And this man is on a different strategy compared to everyone else on the racing surface. Terry Brooks in 2nd, but it's Scott Zellner still leading the way. 6 seconds he has that advantage. 55 laps to go in this season. Scott Wheeler 3rd, Ramirez in 4th, Chad Winstead is in 5th, Dylan Petit is in 6th, and James McKee is in 7th. Austin Bloom and Caleb Morrissey is in now 7th. The timing and scoring shows Austin Bloom looks to be off the pace here. Matthew Rodriguez is going to get just by Adam Bozzi. According to timing and scoring as well, Bozzi now looks to be about a lap down. Next man up is Rodriguez. And Zellner now has lapped everything but the top 10. More than half of the field is 1 lap down on pace. And how about that performance for the driver of the number 2 machine? A dominating display. And he's only got a few more guys to lap, although Adam Bosman not going to be happy about that. He's right up to the rear bumper of Zellner. 53 laps to go. It might be a battle here, but it won't be for position, as Bosman going to be let by the driver of the 2 machine. Not anything worth risking to fight with a lap car, and Bosman will go right by Camry on Camry. And Camry of that number 2 is going to wait and bide his time. The rocket chassis number 2 has been a rocket ship all season long, and looking to end it off with one final burst of momentum to set his season into orbit. 2 victories, putting him not only over the hill as the winningest driver in the series, but it put him into the 11-win category, another category set by only himself. No other driver has the accolades in this series that a man like Scott Zellner has. 14 seasons of racing, 11 wins, just going to show how competitive this league is. Time after time, James McKee into the 8th position. Caleb Morrissey, number 6 machine, is in 6th. And Chad Winstead is going to be the guy who rounds out the top 5 for now. The number 10 machine, Castro, shades of the Brad Keselowski carbon neutral scheme, doing very good here as he is in 5th. In a world of his own, Roberto Ramirez 2 seconds in front, and Caleb Morrissey 5 seconds behind, although Tyler Rush going to get right by him there. Terry Brooks with Kenny Brooks right behind him, and it's the Service and Supply duo there, as they are going to be the only 2 drivers on the back straightaway for just a moment. Services and Supply having a lot of great runs. Terry Brooks turning it up to 11, looking for that first victory. Any slip up from Scott Zellner, that would give him one. 50 laps to go in this season. And Zellner looking to end this one off with a bang. 71 laps out of 120. And it looks like Colton Gardner going to go down to the inside line. As a matter of fact, Jason Harris there. And Zellner letting off, it looks like, for just a moment, but that is not the case. Scott Wheeler, however, still in 3rd here. The 97 machine doing a great job. Roberto Ramirez is in 4th. Chad Winstead in 5th. Caleb Morrissey is in position number 6. Dylan Petit in 7th. And not a lot of side-by-side battles. As a matter of fact, the closest battle on the racing service is for position number 20. Jason Harris, went by Jeff Morash. And now he's in 19th. Garrett Sidnor trying to make it past Tyler Rush here, as Rush is right behind Jacob Hamm. Hamm goes up to the inside line, now goes all the way out to the outside, and Tyler Rush has the position. Great job there for the driver, the 72 machine. Dylan Petit on his way in that 31, looking for just a bit more out of the car. 7th position for the one-time winner this season at North Wilkesboro. And it has been a tumultuous season, and the downsides coming after the highest of highs, winning at North Wilkesboro, wrecked him back-to-back races. Atlanta, it was for the win. Iowa for a very, very good position in the top 5, top 10 range. And he's not happy about that. 48 laps to go. Would he love to finish this season with a victory? Absolutely. We'll see whether or not he's capable of doing this. That's lap for Scott Zellner. A league above almost everyone in this field. His best, a 33.075. His last lap down to a 34.89. And that shows how slow these cars are getting. Lap after lap, the tires are degrading. And it's been about a 30-lap run here as we are going to come to our second and perhaps final pit stop of the season. And this will be as crucial as ever. 47 laps to go. No caution, 74 laps through. And to decide the championship based off of a pit stop, it would be a shocker. But it's still possible. Scott Wheeler, 3rd position, 2 seconds back on 2nd in Terry Brooks. Looking to make it happen, maybe get into 2nd. He's already on the podium placements. We'll see whether or not he's able to make it happen. Wheeler still leads the championship hunt. Ramirez in 4th. Chad Winstead is in 5th. However, Caleb Morrissey there as well, and he has gained just about a second on Chad Winstead. The 6th machine now only 4.8 seconds back. Getting closer and closer time after time, although Jacob Hamm can hold him up just a bit. And it's the beauty of long run racing. Lead lap cars getting to race with the lap drivers. Kendall Kerr going to come right up to the backside of Scott Wheeler. And he's going to go right out the outside. And Wheeler not going to get much of a defensive maneuver. He knows he's faster, Kendall Kerr is, but he also knows Kendall Kerr is 1 lap down and far from getting it back. Although he is trying in that number 21 machine. Oh, he is trying. And you can see it. He is pushing like his life depends on it. Let's go on board and see exactly what Kendall Kerr sees in the racing car. Stephanie Camaro, number 21 machine, on board with Kendall Kerr. 5th year all the way. It appears to be the way for all of these drivers. 5th year, 7,500 RPMs, gets right back on the power. Full throttles it all the way out. And he He's got a lot of control of that car. His last lap with a 33.866. No driver on the racing surface thus far is any quicker than the driver of Kendall Kerr, as Caleb Morrissey is already into pit road. Looks like pit cycle back into effect here. A little bit of a twitch by Kendall Kerr, but not all too much. And we have Caleb Morrissey on pit road, the lonely man there, as Kendall Kerr now is up to 10th. And a few guys coming onto pit road. Tyler Rush already looks to be one of them. 17-lap hold stint for Kendall Kerr and 16-lap hold for Tyler Rush. Chad Winstead coming out on pit road, and Jacob Hammond as well. And this could be the final pit stop of the season for a majority of these drivers. Scott Zellner, 79 laps through, and he is looking to get that final pit stop in just a few moments' time. Terry Brooks as well as a Wheeler. This could be the championship deciding pit stop. Execute properly, and you have the championship in wraps. Execute improperly, perhaps missed a pit entry or the exit. Kurt Busch almost did in 2004, and him barely making it into the pit entry in 04 is the reason he won that championship. Had he hit the pit road wall, championship over, and Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon win the Nextel Cup title in 04. Scott Wheeler, stakes are a bit lower, of course. It's not a real car. You can't get physically hurt, but it's going to sting if a mistake gets made on the final few laps of the final race of the season that he has dominated with a grip, lap after lap, race after race. And surely Wheeler's got a lot of leeway here to avoid a mistake and play it safe. Adam Bosney on pit road, and looks like he's already going to be on his way. 24-lap hold set for Adam Bosney, an alternative strategy, and it's working out. James McKee, 7th right now. Kendall Kerr slowly but surely working his way up the timing scoring charts. And Kerr up into 8th. This is a Hail Mary strategy. And like it or not, the 21 machine has an idea of what he's doing, and he's going to use it. As the long run seems to be the way we've been going. 40 laps to go, and no driver has had a control of this race like Scott Zellner has. And Zellner coming to pit road here. Terry Brooks is not going to follow him this time by. And it looks like Zellner down on pit road for the final time this season. Scott Wheeler is as well. Coming down on pit road. A little bit of a shaky entry, but he's going to make it quite nicely. And the 97 coming down for one final stop. Looking for win number 3 on the season. Scott Wheeler is. And he's been a longer drought than a lot of these guys think of it, as he's been on the podium almost every single race. Started this season off with a bang. The first half, he only missed a podium position once, and that race was still a top 10 for him. Sonoma, Mid-Ohio, trickier races for the 97 camp, but an incredible turn of events here. Caution-free race. 82 laps in out of 120, and no yellows to be found. It's been a full strategy race, and Roberto Ramirez leads now over Terry Brooks, Adam Bosney, and Scott Zellner. Zellner back on his way, back out front. The number 21 machine goes right by your former leader of Scott Zellner. Roberto Ramirez in the 42 machine, Adam Bosney in the 27. Terry Brooks is in 3rd in the number 23 machine, and Kendall Kerr is in 4th. Scott Zellner in 5th. Winstead is in 7th now, going to be passed. As Chad Winstead not going down to pit road just yet. Scott Zellner is now on his way, gets right by Kendall Kerr. And things are changing here, lap after lap. Time to find out what Zellner has in store for the final charge, as Adam Bosney is 11 seconds in front of him. And Bosney has yet to pit. He pitched at a strategic time, gets a caution perhaps. We might just see a 2-car duel between Bosney and Zellner. Alternate strategies, just waiting to play this one out. Ramirez pushing like he's got nothing left to lose. Caleb Morrissey going to pass him right there. The 42 machine still holding on. Adam Bosney in 2nd. Scott Zellner 3rd. Kendall Kerr in 4th. Rush in 5th. And Chad Winstead is in 6th. Terry Brooks in 7th, and Scott Wheeler's in 8th. And Ramirez with a 10-second lead over Adam Bosney, and Adam Bosney with a 10-second advantage over Scott Zellner. 20 seconds separate your top 3, and that lead will decimate over time. Kendall Kerr now down into 4th. but he's got 4 positions on Scott Wheeler. If a yellow flag came out, this could be the championship deciding strategy, as now Ramirez leading perhaps one final lap on the season if strategy doesn't go to his way. And it looks like Ramirez coming down to the stripe will barely lead the lap, but Roberto Ramirez coming down on pit road, that's going to put his winning chances to sleep. Bar of caution. Bozzi leads Ramirez in second, and now Scott Zellner is in second as Ramirez falls down the pylon. Kendall Kerr up to third. And it's a great position for Kendall Kerr to be in right now. Tyler Rush, the next man up to catch him. But Kerr, knowing at this rate, it's going to take a wreck from Scott Wheeler to make it even possible to get that championship. Pushing like his life depends on it. He made a very, very good first run of it, getting up to third, and was in front of Scott Zellner, who will most likely lead this race. Adam Bozzi pits in about 10-15 laps time. Although now, Kendall Kerr going to be able to face some pressure as Chad Winstead is chasing him down. And Winstead gets right by Terry Brooks and gets right by Tyler Rush. And Kerr, the next man to be caught by both drivers. We'll see how that goes. Over for the driver, the 21 machine, Adam Bozzi, leading now with 33 laps to go at the stripe. And it is not a lot of time remaining to decide the race winner or your series champion, as Zellner chasing Bozzi down. Now it's a 6.8 second advantage. He's coming by 4 seconds. And Lawrence my apologies. Lawrence Whiskey Jr. coming to the chat. Seemed to mess that up whenever I try to read it. Thank you for stopping by. And Kayla Morrissey getting his support shown. The number 6 machine is in 8th. And doing a great job tonight. Kayla Morrissey has been. His high R race was 6th. And that looks to be the spot that Scott Wheeler has now, as Wheeler is chasing down Kendall Kerr. And that fight is for 5th. Winstead now right behind Terry Brooks. They're going to battle for the final podium spot as Adam Bozzi, losing a lot of time here. He's going to have to choose when to pit sometime soon. Austin Bloom goes by. Colton Gardner gets up high. But now he's leading less than 5 seconds for the driver of the number 27. Zellner in second. Terry Brooks in third. Chad Winstead in fourth. And Kendall Kerr is in 5th. Now, it looks to be the 2 championship contending drivers getting right up next to one another. Kendall Kerr tries to make a very, very lame duck maneuver, and it's not going to work. That's his final chance there, and it won't work out. The last-ditch effort, and Kendall Kerr watches as Scott Wheeler goes right by him. Now, Kendall Kerr holding fort for Blacktop Racing tonight in the Owners' Championship. And the Owners' Championship about as intense as the Drivers' Championship. Don't forget about that. After race 10, race 11 standings for the Owners' Championship not updated, but 14 points separated the 4 horsemen and Blacktop Racing through the final 2 races of the season. Zellner for the 4 horsemen with great Scott Wheeler as well. And with Alan Kunman gone, Brad Kress as well, it could be the loss of 2 championships for Blacktop Racing. We'll see whether or not that is the case. Bozzi leading. And Scott Zellner in second. Terry Brooks in third. And how about that for the number 27 machine? Scott Zellner, of course, chasing him down. The gap between them, it is now less than 2 seconds. A second and a half. Bozzi's going to have to think of something quick. 29 laps to go. No caution just yet. This race has gone flag to flag. And it looks like Bozzi's got nothing left. Unless he pulls something out of a magic hat. Pulls something out of the bag. We'll find out what he's got. Bearcat Motorsports leading the way. But how long will he be able to lead? We're going to find out. Zellner, number 2 machine, chasing him down hot and heavy. Less than a second separates your top 2 drivers now. And now, it looks like Zellner's got the momentum to make the run this time by. Number 2 machine, Rocket Chassis. We mentioned them quite a few times tonight. They have built a rocket ship. And Zellner gonna go right up to the top. And Scott Zellner coming down to the stripe this time by new race leader. And it's the man who's dominated this one, Scott Zellner, back out front. Chad Winstead in 4th. And it looks like he's chasing down Terry Brooks quite nicely. While he's at it, Scott Wheeler in front of Caleb Morrissey as Morrissey's gotten back up into 6th. And Caleb Morrissey cycling out just outside of the top 5. With Scott Wheeler in 5th, Chad Winstead in 4th, Terry Brooks in 3rd, Adam Bozzi in the 2nd position, and Scott Zellner is in 1st. And Tyler Rush right now getting chased down by Ramirez. The 72 machine facing pressure. This is for the 8th position. And how about that? Up to the high side. Ramirez is going to go on Tyler Rush. Only 2 retirees all night long. Jeff Morash, Corey Blevins, and 18 cars, according to timing and scoring, are on the racing surface. Although that's ought to be 19, as we only have 19 cars remaining on the track. 2 drivers have retired. And Ramirez going to make his way around Tyler Rush. Though it appears there is a lapse in the drivers. 19th position not being scored at all, according to our system here. And that is a shocker. Going to try to find out why that's the case is. Both Andrew Baker and Colton Gardner, they're both being scored on the same position. And they're both being scored as 16th. How about that? Chad Winstead still in 4th. Terry Brooks in 3rd. Adam Bozzi falling back 3 seconds back now in 2nd. Terry Brooks 2.5 seconds away from him. And gaining in, slowly but surely. Bozzi going to have a little bit of pressure as the driver of the 23 is going to get to him sometime soon. 24 laps to go. And this race coming down to the final stretch, almost up to lap 100 here in Miami. And Bozzi has less than a 2-second lead here on Terry Brooks. And Brooks able to close in slowly but surely. The 23 Machine Services and Supply Incorporated represented well tonight. Rounding out the podium for now, Terry Brooks is. He's still looking for win number 1. And he might just have the newest tires on the track, and that he does. A 14-lap old set has the advantage even on Scott Zellner. How about that? Josh Herschel saying, I bet my house that Terry Brooks would get a podium. Wish me luck. Well, right now, he's got a 2-second buffer and might be able to get a position as a buffer as well. He's getting closer and closer time after time. But Scott Zellner, 23 laps to go, coming out of the 3rd and 4th turn. And you know what that means. 23 laps to go will become 22 laps to go for the final time this season. Let's crank it up, get the volume up, because we're going to put the best cameras on iRacing to work. TrackCamera2.com. Crank it up. We hope you enjoy one last time. How about that for the best cameras on iRacing? How about the best driver tonight? Scott Zellner only has what will become now 18 laps to go to settle this here in Homestead. And it looks like Zellner going to blip off the screen for just a moment there. Not sure what's going on, but we're going to keep focusing on him. The number 2 machine still leading with 18 laps left here. And he's got a few drivers on the back straightaway with him, and Kenny Brooks right behind him. And he is chasing down lap car after lap car. And he's got a 5.5 second advantage over Terry Brooks. Brooks has clawed in about a 10th of a second over the last 15 laps. But that doesn't mean all too much. Brooks knowing it, he's still pushing. But it might not be enough to get that victory. 17 laps to go. Lap 104 out of 120 in total. And the man out front looking to secure win number 2. For the man in third looking to secure his championship season 14. And this is quite the season. The first season we've been brought alongside the Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series to broadcast live on Fireball Talks NASCAR. The first season, these guys have had to work with the next-gen cars, a new commodity, and it's been a great show every race in and out. In the first season that we've seen such a close battle between the drivers on the tail end of it, especially live here on YouTube for these guys, Scott Wheeler, Kendall Kerr, and James McKee. And of course, records being broken, records being set. Zellner up to 10 wins, looking for 11. And Scott Wheeler almost putting together the three-peat in victories. It's been a series of dominating swings, highs and lows, and incredible moments for every driver, no matter who you are. Perhaps it's your first victory overall, your first victory in a road course, first victory at an oval, first victory at a certain track, or perhaps your first championship. Or perhaps we might see one sometime soon, but right now Scott Wheeler, a veteran here, looks to be able to be putting himself in a position to get that championship victory. Tonight belongs to the veteran Scott Zellner. 14 laps to go here in Miami, and he's the man to beat no matter what, it appears, as Scott Wheeler, in a world of his own, 107 laps into his race. Chad Winstead in 4th. Taylor Morrissey now down to 7th as Adam Bozzi gets by for 6th. James McKee is in 8th as Kendall Kerr is in position number 10. Now it looks like it might be a lost cause, bar a caution. 107 laps. Incredibly, this race might go caution-free. And Zellner looks to be letting Tyler Rush go by him. Although that is not the case. They're still going to sit side by side. And they go side by side only for a moment. Zellner able to clear both. Austin Bloom clears the process. A baker's dozen here. 13 laps to go. And the next lap call for Scott Zellner will be Kendall Kerr. James McKee, 27 seconds down himself. 2 championship contenders could be put a lap down. And that's a testament to the dominating performance put together by Scott Zellner. He's got all of the top 10 lapped once again. And with 12 laps to go, we won't see another pit cycle. And a dozen laps remain in this season. And Zellner is on a tear. Nobody can stop him. And Scott Zellner looking to lap Kendall Kerr next. And that could be the symbolic end to a championship run for the 21 machine. And it looks like representing the definite run, it might just be Kendall Kerr put 1 lap down with 11 laps to go on pace. And that's a testament to the pace that Scott Zellner has representing the Grim Reaper here. He comes up on you. Don't think there's a way out. Nobody appears to be faster. Not even Terry Brooks with a set of new tires. Incredible job by Scott Zellner. 11 laps to go. Taylor Morrissey there. Roberto Ramirez in 5th. Chad Winstead just in front. Ramirez has a lot more pace. 8 laps newer when it comes to the tires. Chad Winstead in jeopardy of losing his position here. The number 10 machine might fall down the running order just a bit. We're going to find out whether or not that happens. Ramirez slowly but surely gaining in. That's Adam Bozzi in 7th. Right there with James McKee in 8th. And Dylan Petit going to be the next man to be lapped by Scott Zellner at this rate. Although it's going to be a challenge to get the remainder of the field here. 10 laps to go. And we might only see a total of 7 drivers on the lead lap. As right now, the total of drivers on the lead lap in 9 is less than the laps we have to go. And now it's dead even. 9 laps to go here in Homestead. The season finale almost done and done here. A lot of great action. And best of all, it's been caution-free. Terry Brooks, second position. Scott Wheeler in third. Chad Winston in fourth. Roberto Ramirez in fifth. Caleb Morrissey is in sixth. And chasing down Jason Harris. Jacob Hahn right behind Adam Bozzi. Bozzi is in seventh. And James McKee is in eighth. Dylan Petit, 31 seconds down on your leader. And Scott Zellner is in frame now. 8 laps to go. And he might be able to catch the driver in ninth and make it 8 drivers on that lead lap. It's at this point an extra challenge on a victory. And while not locked up, he's had it in his hands all race long. Pole position, leading the most laps. And the yellow flag is out! 8 laps to go. We have our first caution of the night. Jacob Holm, this changes everything. And the yellow flag comes out with 8 laps after an incredible 114 lap green flag stint. Could we see an upset? Let's find out what happened. An unbelievable turn of events. And you can see he's already spinning by that point. Let's find out why. As we watch the 76 of Jacob Hom exit the 4th turn. And you can see he gets squirrely just a bit. And absolutely MDLXL. That is wild. And a single car incident noses it right up into the wall. 7 laps to go. And the race absolutely changed. 114 laps of action under green. And we might be setting up for a few more. 1 overtime attempt. That is the maximum. We're not going to be able to use it just yet. This race should go its scheduled distance of 120 laps. And we should not be heading into overtime this time by. Jacob Hom in trouble. And this is the race off pit road one last time. This is the most crucial. Who's going to be able to get it done? We're watching the pit exit cam this time by. And let's see what happens. Zellner out in front. Got the pole position stall. And he's going to be taking 4 tires. Terry Brooks as well. Majority of the field is. Zellner far out in front. Terry Brooks in second. Scott Wheeler going to come out in third. Then it's going to be Chad Winstead beat out by Roberto Ramirez. Now it's going to be Adam Bozzi beat out by Caleb Morrissey. And now James McKee looks to be in a world of his own coming out as well. And a few drivers left on pit road. But Zellner, the one who wins the race off pit road, 115 laps in. And this appears to be the only time we'll be able to get 1 break in tonight's festivities. And tonight's procedure, it's changed just a bit. We're going to be able to take 1 break and 1 break only. We're going to send it to Fireball Talks nonstop. Don't change anything. Stay where you are. This race is far from over. And we hope you enjoy because these guys are far from done fighting for the title. We're going Fireball Talks next, nonstop on Fireball Talks NASCAR. You won't miss a beat. You'll still be able to watch the race at the same time.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Toronto Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Toronto Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. Publication of the redesign and rebranding of Toronto Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Toronto Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
And that's going to be the last ad we play. We're going to cut that break short. Let's get back into the action. Scott Zellner chooses the high line, and Terry Brooks chooses the bottom. And this is the final time to really make your picks, make your predictions, because we're going to put it into the books with a 3-lap shootout after 114 laps of green flag action. No stopping these guys, it seems. But now, we've only got a sliver of the field caught up. The remainder is still trying to get there, but it's Zellner leading the way. Terry Brooks there as well. And this will be it. The season finale coming down to a final restart. 3 laps, 4.5 miles. In Miami, the sun has set, and we'll see who's able to get the victory and get that championship. Nothing settled yet. It ain't over till it's over. Pace cars in, 4 laps to settle it, and we will be going green once again. This might be it. Zellner's gonna get a masterful start, and Brooks there as well. 3 laps to go. Scott Zellner out to a great start, and it looks like right now it's going to be 2x2 for second position. Brooks there. Scott as well. Brooks getting away by him. Wheeler's going to be in third now. Roberto Ramirez charges to the inside line. And now, James McKee, the only driver fighting with Scott Wheeler there. Kendall Kerr far out of contention. Scott Zellner leading the way here. Lead pack now down to 10 drivers. Whittled down. Caleb Morrissey going to get into the top 5 here. Side by side with John Homestead. And this is it. Zellner there. Terry Brooks as well. And how about that? And you could see only a few drivers left here that we're watching on your screen. Austin Bloom. And a lot of guys behind him. As a matter of fact, you could see Matthew Rodriguez. Kendall Kerr is in 12th now, but a lot of guys hanging back. Zellner, 2 laps to go, and it's going to become 1 lap to go. Shelly Bagman-Chak saying, go, Scott, this could be the moment. Going through turns 1 and 2. The 2 machine still leading. Brooks there. Roberto Ramirez in 3rd. And Scott Wheeler in 4th. Wheeler just has to hold on, and he'll have the championship locked up. James McKee goes down the inside on Caleb Morrissey. And Scott Zellner, the all-time winningest driver in the Highline Racing League, looks to add on to his incredible legacy. And Scott Zellner wins the HighPoint.com season finale, and Scott Wheeler Jr. will win the 14th season championship in the Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series. What a drive! What a championship! And Scott Wheeler gets it done. The Scots come home victorious. James McKee gives them the bump. A congratulations from the driver, who I believe will finish 2nd in the points. And a lot of guys coming down to the start-finish line here. And we're going to have a double burnout. As the drivers pull on a pit road, 2 men here to celebrate all they've done all season long. And your race winner, Scott Zellner, season champion, watches as the winningest driver, Shirley, experience with burning it down, putting in masterful donuts, and Scott Wheeler getting right up to him. And you know what this means. It's a double burnout here in Miami. Caleb Morrissey gonna get right by him. And Morrissey here as well. Teammates with Scott Wheeler already off the racing surface. With Scott Zellner gonna park it there on the start-finish line. And it is time to set up your interviews. The final few we'll be able to get And we disabled the interview system just to make sure that we keep the stream running. That looks to be out of our concern now. And we will roll with the interviews back in play. And how about that? Win number 11. And Brad Crest saying congrats to Scott and Scott Jr. And how about that? No relation, but the Scotts on control tonight. And what a performance put on by every one of these drivers. Scott Zellner, however, adding on to the legend here, and your second win of the season, and you had control of that one from start to finish. How do you feel?
Oh man, feels really good to get the monkey off the back for this season. Man, after that Richmond win, I've had no luck at all. It's just been a real terrible season, but to end it on such a high note, that's awesome. And as always, just a huge shout out to Scott Wheeler. Man, what a championship for the team. Oh man, so happy, so happy.
And absolutely able to get it done for the four horsemen here. What a show put on by every one of them. But you had control no matter what. What was the key to success here? Tires, just running the race that you had, running that pace, pole position seemed to carry over. What really set you apart from everyone else here tonight, getting you that victory?
Honestly, it's a little bit of a dirt racing background. You really had to keep the tires cool on the bottom. The wear actually wasn't that bad, but if you got the tires heated up past a certain level, they were gone. So just hitting your marks, running the bottom, running like it's a greasy racetrack. I think that's what kept us out front all night, and just so happy, so thankful.
And absolutely out front all night. And we had 114 green flag laps. How about that? What a long run. And how was that contrasting with what eventually decided the race here in that short run?
Yeah, just a huge shout out to everybody for keeping it clean for all that time. Obviously would have loved to have that end, as a green to checkered race. But, the caution flag definitely brought some excitement in. I thought some people would have taken some alternate strategies, but just hung on. Once again, congrats to Scott Wheeler for winning the championship. He worked really hard on that one.
Absolutely, and the team able to get it done as well. Scott Zellner winning the final race of the season as we head into our 15th in just a few weeks' time. How do you feel going into the next one, and what is the end goal coming off of such a high note to conclude this one?
I just want to keep adding to the win total. Hopefully run a complete season. This season definitely had some struggles through most of it. I just wanted to bring another championship to Four Horsemen Racing. I think we've proven to everybody that we are the team to beat in this league, and let's just stay on top.
And staying on top, that is the goal. And if they're able to do so, they'll be starting off where they finish next season. Scott Zellner gets the victory in the final race, the HighPoint.com season finale. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Once again, just a huge shout out to Scott Wheeler for winning that championship. Huge shout out to Caleb and Austin. Really awesome teammates. Everybody that keeps this thing going, thank you. We all appreciate it. And last but not least, shout out to my family watching. And happy birthday to Brooke. Glad we got a win for you.
How about that? Once again, thank you, Scott Zellner.
Thank you.
And now we're going to get on to our second position driver, the driver of the number 23 machine. It is going to be Terry Brooks. And how about that? Brooks ending this season off on a high note. And we're going to try to get him back on the racing service just for a look. And how about that? Number 23 machine, Terry Brooks ending this season off strong. Second position tonight and only 0.2 of a second off of that race victory. How did it feel all night long?
It was really good. I thought we ran with Zellner there for that first 20-lap run. It was nice and tight. We started gap the field, and I thought we were going to be really good the rest of the night, and then he just started walking away. But I was pulling away too, so I was happy. I really hated to see that caution because it was a comfortable spot, but still ended up with a really good finish.
An absolutely really good finish after over 100 laps of green flag action. And how was it adjusting to the situation and eventually having that short run compared to the long run that eventually of course, didn't decide the race. Well, the short run did.
Well, the long runs, the cars got really, really free on exit. Short run, like the initial start, car was a little snug. And I was worried if I didn't take full fuel at the pit stop on that last restart, it was going to be too tight. And luckily, I did put all fuel and help get the car to cut. I just wish I had a little bit more so I could have at least been under Zellner for the last lap coming to the checkered.
And certainly strategy mixed up all the way there, but nonetheless, 2/10 off second position and ending the season off on a high note. Next season, of course, going to be coming up in a few weeks' time. A holiday break already in effect here. Just getting this one done a few days before Christmas. And how do you feel going into next season? What are the end goals of next season coming off of such a high note here?
Next season, the goal is to get a win and possibly a pole. And I'd like to try to have an 80% top 5 finish next year. And hopefully nothing outside the top 10. And then I'll put us in position to have a good points run.
And absolutely, and you've been putting yourself in position, especially turning up in these last few races and ending it off on a high note. Terry Brooks in the number 23 machine. Any final thoughts before we leave this off?
Just want to thank you for broadcasting. It's been great all season long. I'd like to thank the league for putting all of it together. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. Any league is. And it's all the drivers in this league. It's really good racing, really good group of guys to race with. It's been a pleasure to do it with everybody.
And absolutely a pleasure to have you, driver, the number 23, runner-up tonight, Terry Brooks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And there we have it, Terry Brooks in the number 23 machine. How about the man who finished in third position tonight? Not Scott Wheeler, but it is the driver of the 42 machine, and Roberto Ramirez. How about that, rounding off the podium and finishing this season off strong? What a season you've had, and how was it managing this entirety? 120 laps. What a show we had. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of the race that I put together. I think I started P7 and just kept my head in the game every single lap of the race, and I think that's what made the biggest difference. Never once did I doubt that what I was doing would pay off. And what I mean by that is, like, I was just trying to save tire and let people come to me on every long run. I thought that whole race was going green. I don't know what the caution is for, but I couldn't believe my eyes. 113 laps green, and to get a caution that late, I was thinking about doing last week all over again. But two tires wouldn't have worked this week because we weren't close enough to Zellner when he pitted. So it took 4 tires. Didn't take fuel at the end. I think that's really what killed me. It was just so tight on short runs, and just that little bit of fuel that I could have added would have made that a lot better, but I was just plowing tight the last run and just trying to take care of Wheeler because I know he was on my outside and just trying not to get into him. But overall, really proud of the race I put together. And to end with a P3 at a 1.5 miler is super nice and got a lot of momentum going the next season.
Absolutely a lot of momentum going into the next season. First season with these next gens, and it looks like a learning experience for everyone. And able to turn it up in these past 2 weeks. A win and a podium to round this season off. Next season on the horizon. How do you feel going to that one? And what do you see yourself in when it comes to next season? In a championship hunt? What's the goal for the 42 machine?
Championship is definitely the goal, and it was the goal coming in this season, and I just came in, I flat out did not execute whatsoever. I mean, first week of the season, and I let an interview distract me and I crashed myself under yellow. So, was that the first in-car interview we did this season?
I believe that is actually the first interview we did all season, regardless of in-car.
First and best interview of the season. Yeah, just not doing little silly mistakes like that. I mean, everything that's in my control. I think I had a better mindset towards the end of the season. I wasn't really worried about showing up every week and winning. I mean, like last week, I didn't even touch Iowa until the practice session up for the league race. So I think if there's one thing I can take from the season, which it was a great season for me. I mean, 2 wins, first multi-win season. the one thing that just wasn't there was putting it together every single week. And I think if I can do that, why not be able to run for a championship? Speed's there, just gotta take that mindset we kind of finished this year with and do our best every single lap and try and fight for a championship.
And absolutely, why not? The 42 machine proven to have speed week after week. Any final thoughts to round off this season?
I just want to thank you for putting on the broadcast this season. It was nice to have a broadcast again, and I think we all really appreciate that. So I hope to see you guys back next season, but regardless, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done this season.
We got to thank you as well. Roberto Ramirez putting on a show week after week. Final driver in the podium. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And there we have it. Those are your podium drivers, but we're not done. How about the man who finished in 4th in this race, but the man who I believe is your champion in Season 14 of the Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series? It's Scott Wheeler in the 97 machine. It looks like you got it done. How do you feel?
I feel really good. It was a great season and a good race to end it all. The car was crazy loose, so definitely a challenge, but just really happy with the result and how the whole season went. Last season, I didn't even get a win, so this is quite a way to rebound.
And certainly quite the rebound, getting the championship and very close up front all race long. How about the strategy tonight and what puts you over the top and eventually getting that championship and locking it up here tonight?
I think the strategy was just trying to figure out what Scott was doing. I don't think anybody was going to catch him, honestly. Terry and I had pretty much done everything we could at the beginning and then just kept losing time to him. So, but tonight was just staying consistent and smooth, not making a mistake. I knew or known that if Kendall won, I had to, I think, be in the top 10. Otherwise, just had to run well. So just staying calm, and my teammates definitely helped keep that where it needed to be and get this done.
Absolutely. Had to finish in that top 10 according to mathematical situation you were in, and you did just that, keeping yourself in front of Kendall Kerr all of the way. And the short run determined it. Any thought that maybe things could have gone awry on that final restart?
It always pops into the back of your mind when restarts come up. We saw it last week, and that kind of derailed some things going on and made the gap a little bit closer. But I was pretty confident that starting behind Scott, we were going to be okay, and we were able to survive, and here we are.
And absolutely, here we are, champion this season and next season. Absolutely going to be on the horizon in just a few weeks' time. Are you looking to double it up and perhaps go for a back-to-back run? What's the goal for the defending champion going into Season 15?
I'll definitely try. This league is incredibly hard to win in. Everybody's so competitive, and we all race really well against each other. So it's not going to be an easy feat. A season in the books with these cars, everybody's kind of got some notes, and you can tell that people are improving. So I think it'll be a lot tighter, but we'll do what we can.
And absolutely doing what you can, but it looks like the notebook here filled with winning information. Scott Wheeler, any final thoughts before we leave this season behind and go chasing yet another?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that we race with every week in this league. We put on some great shows. Obviously, tonight was no different. Running as green as long as we did tonight with the setup that we had is really impressive. And then just saw the other races throughout the year. My teammates, I couldn't get anything done without those guys. They kept me in it all season. We bounced strategy off each other. They put me in good spots. So I'm sorry, I was looking at the Discord. Caleb, Scott, Austin. Those guys they're everything. I couldn't get this done without them. And then Kendall and Toby for putting on the league. This is it's not easy to do it every week. It certainly takes a lot of work, but everybody appreciates it. It's a blast. You guys in the booth do a great job every week. I always listen to them when I can. And then everybody that watches. My dad's watched every race this season. So, everybody that supports this league is, we all appreciate it, and we try to put on the best show possible.
Absolutely putting on a show week after week and 12 weeks of action. The showstopper, Scott Wheeler, your champion. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we got one final interview in the books here. It's going to be the driver of the 21 machine in Kendall Kerr. I'm waiting for this one for quite a while. Number 21 machine, able to round off this season quite strongly. High position in the championship running, 12th tonight. How was it throughout this entirety of the final race?
Man, I didn't think I was even going to be here tonight. To be honest with you, I'm up here more as the admin commissioner role, just to say thank you for everything that you've done for the league this season. I know the drivers have really, really appreciated the broadcast this season, and hopefully we'll be looking to do more down the road. We'd certainly love to have you guys back. And just, before we go, wanted to give a big shout out to our two-time champion, Scott Wheeler, and congratulations to Scott Zellner, all-time race winner on another race win tonight as well.
And absolutely, both of them putting on a great show. And you were involved in that championship hunt till the wire. And of course, not playing out in your favor tonight, but still a race you put on with an alternate strategy. Almost had him for a little while there. The caution came out at the right moment. You might have been up there. 12th tonight, how was it running in the season finale?
Oh, I didn't get any practice in all week long. I really didn't think I was going to be able to make the race tonight because of the Christmas event, but it worked out to be here, and the setup was really good. Just wasn't good enough tonight I wasn't good enough. I mean, it just needed a caution to fall. I don't know, maybe 15 laps earlier, and maybe we'd had a shot at it. But yeah, once again, more just up here just to thank you and thank all the drivers for a great season.
And absolutely a great season we have had. And any final thoughts going to the next one in just a few weeks' time, I believe? What's on the horizon here in the Highline Racing League?
Well, we're going to put out a Google form. I know some of the guys have been chirping a little bit about trying to do a full season rundown. We've never done that on iRacing before. I think we've got the group to pull it off. We've got the point system to pull it off. We'd give provisionals to guys that couldn't make races and things. And I think we've got the broadcaster to pull it off too. So we'll see, get through the holidays, get that forum answered. I know we'll have our traditional Rolex 2.4 hour race where we run with the sunset on 8X. So you get the true day to night to day event. So that's always fun. We'll probably throw a couple unofficials on there and be ready to roll with Daytona.
And absolutely looking forward to the next one, and always a crucial part of this league and how it's made up. Thank you, Kendall Kerr, for stopping by, and thank you for your continuous work on this league. Means the world to have you alongside us here week after week.
Hey, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure, and hope to keep this thing rolling with you in the future.
Absolutely. Once again, driver of the 21 machine, Kendall Kerr, thank you for your time. And there we have it. I believe that is your final interview of the season. Kendall Kerr, as you watch him roll into his pit stall one last time, we're going to read off your race results for the last time in this season. And now, let's watch and wait. Scott Zellner, your race winner, and he did it in style. And we got to thank every one of you who watched this season. What a performance by every one of these drivers. If you did enjoy the race, be sure to like and subscribe. Means the world, keeps us up to date, keeps us in the loop, of course, in the YouTube scene, and we want to be in that loop because this is some of the best racing you've seen on iRacing. And I know for certain I've been on this platform for quite a few years. Doesn't get much better than this. Results page is going to be on your screen in just a moment's time, and here it is. Scott Zellner, your race winner over Terry Brooks by 0.2 of a second. Roberto Ramirez rounds out the top three, and Scott Wheeler's in fourth, your series champion. Chad Winstead is in fifth, qualified in fourth, and James McKee is in the sixth position. Caleb Morrissey comes home in seventh, Dylan Petit in eighth, Adam Bozzi in ninth, Austin Bloom in 10th, and then the remainder of the field goes as follows. Matthew Rodriguez 11th, Kendall Kerr in 12th, Garrett Sidnor in 13th, Andrew Baker 14th, Tyler Rush in 15th, Jason Harris 1 lap down in 16th, and Kenny Brooks a lap down in 17th. Colton Gardner 2 laps down 18th, and your only two retirees, Jacob Hallam and Jeff Morash, round out the 20 cars that made it to the grid. Corey Blevins not able to do so, and your 21 car field rounds out 12 races of action. The sun sets on an incredible season, 12 races of great racing, drama, action, and all around a thrill. I have to thank every single one of you for stopping by and watching some of the great racing we've been able to present here as we end off a season touring the virtual country in iRacing with some of the best drivers on the platform in amazing paint schemes, bringing together a competitive show week after week, night after night. And we hope to be back as much as we hope you want us back. We are getting ready for a season that might just be the best one yet for this league, season 15. We anticipate it. The sun is already set, both for me right now in the real world, and the sun setting in the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. We say goodnight one final time on this late Thursday night, and we say hello to whatever is next. We will be live on Thursday nights, the IORA Cup Series, Next Gens, 7:45 Eastern. The show goes on. However, for the time being, we won't have this show when we know that's quite the difference. We still hope you stick with us. We thank every one of you for the support on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel. Without you, we couldn't do this night after night. Your support, it's immeasurable to say how valuable it is to us. It means the world, and we hope to have you back whenever we are able to be back once more. Thank you all. David Kreutz from the broadcast booth, and we hope you have a great night. Scott Zellner is your race winner, and Scott Wheeler is your Highline Racing League HighPoint Premier Series champion for season 14. Thank you all. Have a great night.